left New York Fashion Week early. I literally left it early. Let's talk about it. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. Today we are going to be going over everything New York Fashion Week. I was at New York Fashion Week for 7 days, was supposed to be 8 days, and I nearly left after like 5. That's a long time to be at New York Fashion Week, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go over my experience. This is, I think, my 4th New York Fashion Week, I think. I'm gonna go over my experience with Fashion Week, how to get in, what does it mean? What does it mean to go to New York Fashion Week? Because there's actually a lot of nuance around it. I'm going to be speaking as an influencer and as a creator. There is a whole different world for the buyers, for fashion students, fashion professionals, that like I don't even know about. And so I'm going to be speaking from a creator's perspective, who also loves fashion and loves going to Fashion Week. But everybody was like, are you excited for Fashion Week? And I was like, yes and no, because Fashion Week is awesome and it's also the worst thing ever. Truly, we're gonna get into it. I posted a Instagram story asking you guys for questions and you guys did not disappoint. So we are going to go over your questions. And in these, I think I will answer why I came home early from New York Fashion Week. So first one, how do normal people go? So this is actually, I think, a great place to start. So with Fashion Week, going to Fashion Week, there are nuances to this because what you're going to see on social media is oftentimes like what people like think about with Fashion Week. They just see a bunch of the people they know or that they follow going to Fashion Week, but Fashion Week as a whole is not something you get invited to. Like, it's not like you get something in your email or an agent or saying you are invited to Fashion Week. Fashion Week is basically a week dedicated to fashion that the designer houses and other fashion houses present shows. It is originally meant to be for buyers to go and see the next collections. Normal people often are not there for this. This is a criticism of New York Fashion Week and why a lot of I would say professional fashion creators, fashion professionals, designers, brands are focusing a lot more on Paris Fashion Week versus New York Fashion Week because New York Fashion Week has become very much about brand advertisement, digital presence, creators, influencers, that type of thing, versus Paris is still very rooted in its original purpose, which is for the designers and their showcases. Now, the major designers obviously do their shows and they're beautiful, they look amazing, but that is a criticism. And I still love New York Fashion Week, but I totally understand, even though I'm part of the influencer part, I get why that could be frustrating for people. So when you see people going to New York Fashion Week, a couple things could be happening. One, they could be a buyer in the fashion space or something like that, going to shows, to study, see the new collections, or look at what they are going to be buying from the new collections. They could be a creator or press, or an influencer, or any part of like media groups going to shows and events meant for coverage. Their whole job is to cover these shows and events and parties and things, because there is a lot of parties. Or you have the normal person who goes to New York Fashion Week during Fashion Week and then calls it going to New York Fashion Week. It gets a little dicey to me because I think that's not somebody going to Fashion Week. That is somebody going to New York during Fashion Week, and then a lot of times brands will have free pop-ups during Fashion Week. So I know Tezza did a really cool photo booth pop-up. You'll have skincare brands have like food trucks where they pass out like their lip balm and ice cream. You will have stores do little pop-ups, or brands do little pop-ups that maybe are only online, and then they book out a place where you can go shop their stuff for just that week or for just like 3 days in person. There are events like that. They don't require an invite. It's just brands, companies know, hey, a bunch of people are gonna be here, so we're gonna do like an activation around Fashion Week. So there are people who aren't like going to Fashion Week. They are not working. They are going to New York during Fashion Week, taking pictures of cute outfits, going to dinners, or going to clubs, or honestly like going for the Instagram of it all, and then maybe going to some free brand events. That's not honestly a bad thing. And if you want to do Fashion Week, you're not a creator and you don't have an agent, which we're going to talk about, or like somebody to invite you to the shows or anything, that's a great way to go. Because also what people don't know is you can buy tickets to fashion shows. Like, you can just buy tickets. They're the ones that I've seen are not that expensive. It depends on the brand. And some of them, like, honestly, you could just DM the brand and see, like, if a brand posts a show, see if they have tickets available. But a lot of times you could just like buy a ticket and go. The larger shows like have, they believe like Runway 7, they have this big space and they have several designers go through. That was a show, I think that was actually my only show. I saw 3 or 4 different designers in one like Runway 7 show. I believe Runway 7, I believe they sell tickets. Like you just go like that. You know, that is the way that you can participate in Fashion Week. Like, if you want to have the Instagrammable experience, that's exactly what that is. If you enjoy going there for fashion, buy tickets for the fashion shows. This is the first year that I really paid attention, and I took notes on the designers that I want to see next year and the shows that I want to be invited to next year, because I, as an influencer, have an agent and an agency, and the designers, brands will reach out to the agency and they will say, hey, we would love for your creators to come to the show, to come to this event, to come to this party, X, Y, and Z. Please send your roster. Each year, it kind of differs on what brands are doing. This year, what was interesting is that there's a lot more selectivity. And so last year, so I'm currently signed with the Sociable Society. Last year, brands would come to the Sociable Society, say, hey, we want your creators to come to our event. I.e., there was a champion party. There was Noise, the fragrance, did a pop-up party thing. They had an open bar, and you got free fragrance at the champion thing. It was honestly just at the champion store, and they paid a lot of celebrities to be there, and there was a DJ, and they passed out like wine. Event-wise, it wasn't actually very creative, but they had the biggest names there, so kudos to Champion. I ended up getting this Champion collab with Target because I went to the Target the day after that party and I saw this and I thought it was great. Obviously inspired me to purchase, so there's something there. There was some designers will say like, hey, Runway 7 reached out, said, hey, we want your creators to come to the show, etc., etc. And then PSS will send the roster and they'll be like, great, we'll put them all on the list. That's what happened last year. This year, brands were actually more selective. It was really interesting. Our like managers would send their roster and they would come back and be like, okay, we will take this person, and this person. And then maybe they would have a +1, maybe they wouldn't. We had several events where the +1 was actually taken away like a couple hours before the event or the day before the event. So people that thought they could have a +1 don't. I'm telling you, it's not it. Fashion Week can be described, and this is going to be language filled, okay? Can be described as FOMO, clusterfuck, and disorganized. It really, really is. And that's the part that's not fun. But before I go into that, and I do want to touch on that, I'll go further into the invite thing. So if you want to go as a normal person, you can totally go as a normal person. Just like go on a New York trip with your girlfriends and get some tickets to some of your favorite shows, some of your favorite designers. Plan for it to be a shopping trip. Honestly, this year after I basically had I was down bad. I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. But I wanted to stay and like go to other things and stick it out. I took one day where I just had nothing and I went around and I went down Soho, I went to Soho, down Elizabeth Street and stuff like that, and did my own shopping by myself, headphones in, just some of my favorite brands. And I actually think that is a great way to like sort of be in Fashion Week, get inspired by the fashion, and then go and do some shopping. I think that would be a great itinerary there. Take some Instagram pictures, go to cute dinners. If you know people that are going to events, see if you can be a +1, see if you can get into some things, but like you can totally go and not be in the PR of it all. Now let's talk about as a creator. So yes, so as a creator, my manager probably a week ago or a week before the Fashion Week actually started, that's when I started to get my confirmation for events. I didn't get confirmed for some events until the day before or the morning of. So what we do and what I have learned to do, and this is if you are a creator, this is some really good advice on how to handle this because it took me like 3 years to figure this out. If you want to go to Fashion Week, go ahead and book the hotel. Go ahead and book the hotel and go ahead and book the flight. Look online. I went, what days are Fashion Week? And I booked for the full 7 days. People don't do that. That's insane. I ended up coming a day early, coming for 8 days because I had an event the day before that I would originally plan to go. That's insane. A lot of my friends and a lot of the people, like the creators that are flying in, are there for 3-4 days max. 8 days is insane, 7 days is insane. But I had, like last year I left and I had a lot of events that I was invited to like the 3 days after I left that I missed out on, and you don't hear about it until the day of or the day before, and then I felt like I missed out on a lot. And this particular year, my goal in going to Fashion Week was for a lot of brand connections and a lot of like media presence, because it makes a difference when brands see you tagging them, when you're coming up on brands' feeds. If you're at Fashion Week, it puts you in that space and in a realm of in front of brands' eyes. And I'm looking to get in front of more brands' eyes because this year, my brand deals have been lower than last year. So just from a business decision, I wanted more visibility. Something to keep in mind when you're thinking about it. So if you want to go to Fashion Week, look at the dates you want to go ahead and book it, book the flight, book the hotel, and just plan on being there, especially if you have a manager. Just plan on being there. Let your manager know, hey, I'm going to Fashion Week. Please, like put me up, because brands will come to agencies be like, who's going? So the managers know, oh, I know that Sarah's going, I'm gonna put her name forward. And then I made notes for myself this year that I will be giving to my manager next year, saying it like probably 2 months, a month before-ish, saying these are the shows that I really, really wanna get into that are like the higher like caliber ones that it's going to take a little bit more reach out and outbound reaching to get me into, which is totally fine. I'm just gonna be prepared. And then just plan on being there. That best thing I did this year was just book it. I planned on being there, and then I was there and the events come. It is so last minute. If you're with an agency, like you will have things to do. If you have an agent, you will have things to do. But I mean, up until, a week before I left, it looked like I had nothing going on. I had nothing in my calendar. And then the events started rolling in. Things get into emails. Things are so last minute. And then I booked up. I had 2 to 3 events per day. And it was great. And there were times I skipped events. You can totally skip events, and you should, because it's going to be super overwhelming if you don't, to be honest. Oh my gosh. That was like one like giant, oh my God. I spent so long answering that question. What brands and events are there that aren't like high fashion for general business girlies? Great question. Most of the brand pop-ups and activations are normal brands that like regular girls can go to. They're like Abercrombie will do something. Like a bunch of the beauty companies do things. I went to an event with Dippin' Daisies. Like very much, there are so many events that are just for the normal people. I would say Champion is a normal people brand. That's, I think, elevating their look right now, which I think is very interesting. But like this I got at Target. So many normal people events that you can go to. And if you start consuming Fashion Week like content, the algorithm will start to show you the free events and stuff like that. And if you have brands that you love, follow them. They'll post if they're doing a like free pop-up or something. But again, sometimes like I was seeing things, I was already in New York and they were like, oh, we're doing a pop-up. And it would be 2 days later. Thank God I was still in New York. But like, you'll find out the week of. They don't tell you a month before so you can book your hotel. How is it? Okay, like I said, Fashion Week should be called FOMO Week. It is a clusterfuck and it is FOMO central. Because here's the thing, and here's the truth of it, and I'm saying this not as a cynic, I'm saying this because you are going to feel this, especially if you're a creator, or even if you're a normal person, or if you're just watching Instagram and you're feeling like, oh, I should be there. Everyone is going to feel that way because it is a week dedicated to lists. Are you on the roster? Are you on the list? Are you pretty enough to be in the list? When you get into the event, how does your outfit look? Because everybody's just trying to show out because it's Fashion Week. So I'm in an event with models and other influencers. Their jobs are to be to the nines. They want to look their best. They're getting the best photos. It is their profession to make things look glamorous. And so if you don't feel or like you're not at your highest confidence, which I wasn't, I was fighting imposter syndrome and lack of confidence the entire week, like that can really, really bring you down. I had one night I went over to a friend's apartment. 2 of us actually went over to her apartment and we watched K-pop Demon Hunters and we ate Chinese food and we had on comfy clothes. I just needed a sense of normalcy during Fashion Week, and I literally walked into her door and I hugged her partner and started crying. Her partner, they are a wonderful, like comforting presence. And so I was just like, but I just needed that sort of feeling of home. At that point, I had been there several days and I was getting a little homesick and it was a little overwhelming. But here's the thing, it is FOMO central. The FOMO that you feel at home by watching Instagram and seeing what's on and you're like, oh, I wish I could be there. You're gonna feel the same FOMO because here's the thing, I'm scrolling and I'm also seeing it. I'm seeing people like influencers and creators who are at my level or lower getting invited to events that I got denied to. And you can't take it personally. It doesn't matter because there's maybe a brand look. They may know, a lot of times it's they know somebody there. Like they are maybe going for something. Honestly, there's a bazillion reasons why you're not going to be invited into an event or whatever, or you're gonna get denied. You're gonna get so many no's. Billion reasons you can't take it personally. But it is FOMO week. It is FOMO week. Every time I was at an event with other creators, best parts, I think, of fashion weeks and of these type of things is that my agency does events. So we had 3 different events that were dedicated to the agency where anybody who was at fashion week signed to the agency. We all got together, we had dinner, we had cocktails, we did a workout event. It was really fun. That kind of stuff is nice because then I'm just bonding with other influencers and other people who get my job. Every time I was with them, that's all we talked about is like, what events are you going to? I got denied to this one. Oh my gosh, I feel so self-conscious. This is so hard. And I'm like, yeah, that's just the way it is. It's just the way it is, okay? And it's fine. Feeling that way is normal and you aren't the only one. The problem with FOMO is it makes you feel very lonely. You're not lonely. And I'm telling you, if you're going to Fashion Week or gonna feel that type of way, don't let it bring you down. How do you attend? Do you need a special invite? Do you purchase tickets? So I kind of answered in the beginning. You can buy tickets to the shows, but don't wait to get invited. Honestly, if Fashion Week is something, if you want to be a creator, this is a big like fake it till you make it situation. If you're a micro creator or if you want to be a creator or like whatever, and you want to go to Fashion Week, go. Hotels are expensive. Get an Airbnb, stay with a friend, whatever. Honestly, go with a gal pal. If I would have known this years ago, I would have done this because I wanted to go to Fashion Week for so many years and I didn't know how and I felt like I needed to be at a certain caliber. Get a gal pal. Go book some nice dinners. Plan outfits for every day. Plan a daytime outfit and a nighttime outfit so you have plenty of Instagrams to take. Pay attention to your favorite brands. If there's a free pop-up, go. Keep your schedule fluid throughout the day. Do a little shopping. Make it a 3-day, 4-day Instagram cutesy New York girlies time and you will have so much fun. So much fun. That sounds like fun to me. And for a lot of this year, I was not having fun. I'm here and it still feels unattainable. I know. It always feels unattainable. And this, I'm not gonna say who this is from, but this is from one of my good creator friends who's a large creator. Very, very successful creator. It still feels unattainable. And it's just, guys, I cannot stress enough how you have to take your ego and put it so far away. And one thing that it does is toughens you up in that you have to be on your A game and confidence all the time. I had to really give myself self-talks and be like, you're meant to be here. You look hot, your outfit's cool. And you have to so center yourself in being you and being so confident in yourself because you're about to walk out into an event. And the thing is, people are kind. I didn't have any poor interactions, and I don't usually have any poor interactions with influencers or people acting like they're better than you or stuck up or anything. I don't know. I think New York, the New York population in general and influencer scene is pretty chill, to be honest. Nobody makes you feel that way, and everybody's like, was there, when I was talking to my friends, I was like, oh, I'm annoyed with being here. I feel so much FOMO. I want to go home. This is exhausting. It's fun, but it's exhausting. And it's exhausting having to show up as this person and show up, show out. And they're like, oh, what has made you feel this way? And I'm like, no, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. So it always feels unattainable, but it is attainable because you're there or you're going to go. It's not that big of a deal. Do you get invited to these events through your management or on your own? Mine often comes through my management. And then okay, you know what? Great example. The Audible event that I went to, that if you guys saw, that was my very first event. That's why I came to Fashion Week early. I have been a partner with Amazon Music in collaboration with Audible, and I didn't get an invite to this event. Who knows why? They have huge teams. They don't know. One of my friends did. She is a smaller book creator who resides in New York. She sent it to me and said, hey, are you going to this? And I said, oh my gosh, no, do you have a contact? That's exactly what you say. If somebody's like, are you going to this? Or you know somebody going to something? No, do you have a contact email? And she said, yes. Send me the email. She was like, and then thankfully I was going to have my manager reach out to that contact email. But my dear friend was like, I'll email them back and say I would love to go and then give them your name. She gave them my name and contact information and they reached out to me and said, we would love to have you. That's how that worked out. It wasn't like they think I'm the best or they saw my contact, they're like, or like I've been on some exclusive list forever and they're so excited to invite me. No, I had a friend going. And so I got a contact and saw if I could go. And thankfully she gave them my information, was like, she's a great creator. I think she even like linked one of my videos or something. And they were like, oh my gosh, would love her to come. That's how that happened. This video was so long. I'm so happy if you stayed, and I hope that this answered some questions. If you have more questions, please comment down below. But here's what I want you to know. One, New York Fashion Week is not unattainable. I could have gone to New York Fashion Week before I had management, and so can you. Like, you absolutely can go, and you can go as just a consumer and not a creator and have a wonderful time. Two, I want to kind of drop the veil a little bit, how you get into events, how I got into these events. A lot of it is a who you know situation, and if you have management or a PR person, I know people, like, I guess I don't personally know people, but I know that there are influencers that hire PR people purely to get them into shows. That is their only job. So if you're serious, if you're in like the industry and you want to hire a PR person in order to get you into stuff for New York Fashion Week, you can totally do that. I haven't done it. I don't know if I'll ever do that. But that's an option as well. But if you have questions or you want to know anything, comment down below. I'm going to be answering your comments. I just want you to know that it is not as glamorous as it seems, but it is as fun as you make it. It is so fun and it is so exhausting, but it is as fun as you make it. And you don't have to be at some sort of high caliber in order to make it fun or go or be a part of it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know this was a little bit different from my book content, but I'm so excited to be back on YouTube and back on track. Honestly, my suitcase is literally still, like, I have one suitcase I haven't unpacked and I'm hoping to do that today. I know you guys have been requesting beauty content. Jail, I know. I need to do more of that. So also comment down below what beauty content you want to see. I love you so much, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.